बोल ना, कुछ से ऑडियो तो देख आया है कि नहीं?
आएगा ना, बोलेगा तो आएगा ना। लगा के
तेरे में ईयरफोन डाल।
मेरे में ईयरफोन नहीं लगा।
हाँ बोल क्या मोबाइल पे बैठने बोलो। मोबाइल
हेलो मोबाइल नको बा.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic moment this is. What a power-packed panel we have here. It's an honor, really, to be as part of the panel and moderating a discussion which has now, as far as the evolution of Indian media is concerned, I've never thought of Mumbai as anything other than what it is, which is a creative hub, a place where you find ample opportunities to dip into the kind of skills that make Hollywood what it is. There are benchmarks out there, and we won't shy away from saying it like it is. But indeed, the opportunities haven't been tapped into as much as the kind of challenges that we kind of face in making this entire industry grow. So it's with this futuristic approach that we are discussing today. What else needs to be done? Is there a public-private partnership that really needs to come about to kind of take it to the next level? That and many other issues is what I'd like to discuss. I'm going to begin by talking to you, Shah Rukh. We heard you say something at Davos. It was about the kind of economy that we are trying to create. You spoke about the Korean economy. You spoke about the Chinese economy. Put that in context for us.
See mic on. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Awaaz aa rahi hai? Can you hear me?
Actually, when I talk in, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. And it's a big honor to be on a panel with such distinguished people, except Ritesh Sidhwani, who's my colleague, so I won't give him too much respect. I just love him. But having said that, you know, wherever I talk about, of course, my knowledge is limited. I'd like to believe I'm more creative than an understander of economy or the business or the entrepreneurship of it. But there are a few aspects which are completely lying in front of our eyes, and perhaps we've not taken cognizance of it. We've not taken it into consideration when we come to business. So I can only talk about, say, the entertainment part and perhaps a little about the media part of it. And we do have a market which is perhaps the biggest market for entertainment in the world, apart from other things too, I'm sure. We are 1.25 billion people, and we keep on harping about it. We keep on being very proud about it. And of course, we are extremely busy to have created 1.25 billion people in the evenings here. So we are an active population, an active country. Having said that, unless there is some kind of a conjunction for the viewer or the consumer and the producers, which most of us are, if we do not create that at the pace that, like, say, China has done or Korea has done. Just for a comparison, I was talking to the CM Saab just now. We have about 12,000 theaters in this country. Of course, Amazon and Netflix is all here. They are creating more platforms. But we are not being able to create theaters or places where people can go and enjoy entertainment at the rate that people actually want to go and see it. And that's the cue we have to take from the rest of the world, like, say, China, who's created about 50 to 60,000 theaters in a span of last 10, 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, if my figures are not wrong. And similarly, the organization of the entertainment sector. One of the things that we have lagged behind, I personally feel, is that we kept on looking to the West, mainly Hollywood, as you said. Their point is to be taken from there. They have organized the entertainment sector in a very nice way, or a way that we can learn from, if not copy or follow suit. But while we were talking about organizing the entertainment sector in the last 5-7 years, a new entertainment sector has come, which is led by Amazon and Netflix and different platforms, and social media has gone topsy-turvy and completely changed how it should be organized. So we are again at a point in time now that with this new advent of digital media, we should quickly organize ourselves, not for any other reason, but just to take the business to its full capacity, if not full half capacity. A film like Dangal, which perhaps is the greatest and most watched film in the country ever, or Bahubali maybe, has garnered only 3 crore people in the theaters, and we have 125 crore people left, or 122 crore people left that we can garner to or take the film to. The fact that we've not been able to take it to them is the reason they've not watched it, not because they did not want to see it. So my logic of economy growth is that if we are able to somehow, especially starting from Maharashtra, we're right here in the hub of entertainment and media, if we can start off trying to make sure and facilitate the consumer to watch entertainment, whether it's on television, whether it's on digital media, and theaters first, because that really is perhaps too conventional now, but in the Indian context, not so conventional either, because there are areas which have never seen a cinema theater for years.
Arnab, from what Shahrukh is saying, by way of what entertainment brings to our media landscape as of now, there is a whole universe out there. From the time that you set up Times Now a long time ago to what you have done with Republic TV, how has the approach really changed in terms of the digital spread, in terms of being able to think of an offering that is better suited to an evolving Indian society?
Thank you, Vikram. When I set up Times Now, that was 2005-06, it's 11, 12 years back. I would say there has been a huge transformation, Vikram, especially over the course of the last 2 or 3 years. Republic's approach will be completely different. Then it was television-led, and now, depending on the way you look at it, it's digital-led television.
Right.
Or television leading digital. So we are truly far more integrated now. I think we must speak about the larger opportunities available in this country. And I want to throw up 2 or 3 specific points for discussion, if you may want to take it forward. The first is that today, for example, we have 400 or 450 odd million mobile subscriptions. And then in a few years from now, we will have 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 billion mobile subscriptions. And with the lower cost of bandwidth that is available, thanks to various initiatives, people will be watching a lot more, Vikram.
Yes.
And it is proven that a few years from now, 75% of people will be using their phones to watch. Now, that's not a good thing where we always say it's a good thing to read. But it tells you in the direction in which things go. And day before yesterday, when the inauguration of this event happened, I heard the Maharashtra Chief Minister talk, rightly so, about building Maharashtra into a $1 trillion economy. And my point is, here is the great opportunity for the great state of Maharashtra. All these people, 75% of whom are going to be consuming video on multiple devices, want content. Whether that content is entertainment content, whether it is documentary content, or whether it is news content. And I think an occasion like this is a great opportunity for people to think of the opportunities that are there in making Mumbai the media hub of the country in the true sense. There is no time for complacency for Mumbai or Maharashtra anymore in assuming that because Bollywood has been the center, Bollywood is centered in Mumbai, that does not mean media will be centered in Mumbai. On a very small and a lighter note, I'll tell you one more thing. You know, I often have a peeve against the Lutyens media.
It's legendary.
The Lutyens media, Vikram, is not a geographical entity. The Lutyens media is a metaphorical entity. It is made up of people too close to power. And I think it will be a great service if we are able to yank away the center of the news media away from the national capital region. Make it in Mumbai, Bangalore, Trivandrum, Kolkata, anywhere. But let the center of the news media not be in Delhi anymore. So just two thoughts. What are we doing in order to take advantage of the digital-led television revolution, of the number of screens which are accessible to us, of the billions of people who will be creating that content? And what are we doing to make Mumbai the center of the media universe in the country, not just limited to Bollywood? I think these are things that we can open up for conversation.
Absolutely. Sudhanshu Vats, just taking off again from that point that Arnav is making, that Bollywood...
Positive about print, that does not mean that I'm not investing in digital. I think I'm very, very pro-print, but we are investing a lot of money behind digital. So today, we would be making about 2,000 odd videos on the news site in a month. In about 2 years, we expect that number to go up to 10,000 videos a month being made for news. And these are coming out from each and every local small places, where we believe the next growth phase is going to come.
So this is bucking the global trend, as it were, Shahrukh. You've heard all those pieces as far as the entire gamut of what is being offered in the entertainment world and beyond in information as well. It's changing the paradigm. Do you think this coexistence is really something of the future, something that can happen? And from a personal perspective, from being a producer of entertainment in the larger sense of the word, how does that change if this coexistence is going to remain? Obviously, it works in the sense that, look, films are here to stay and they're going to go a long way. But in the making of it, in the production of it, in the distribution of it, obviously, approaches will have to change. What would those be?
See, abhi Rishi ne and Arnav Saab ne, they talked about the number of mobile users increasing at this rapid rate. हम जितने भी लोग यहाँ पर हैं, excuse me if I'm wrong, but विजय हैं, ऋषि हैं, अर्नब साहब हैं, सुधांशु, रितेश, मैं, हम actually content creators हैं. I bit to differ a little with सुधांशु साहब, and he said कि हम लोग business ज़रूर है, लेकिन मुझे ऐसा लगने लगा है we are not doing the business. We are mostly content creators. So Rishi Saab is doing it for the newspaper, Vijay is doing it for Amazon, Sir is doing it for Republic and other platforms. And so is Sudhanshu doing it for television. अभी उन्होंने बताया Colors ने और भी channels खोल लिए. हम ये करते रहेंगे. But the bottom line is that with this increase in mobility and this telephonic usage of media, one thing that is going to come out, and हर बात सब यही कह रहे हैं कि local languages, local flavor, two things are going to happen very clearly in the future of the media. So are you saying, when you ask me कि हम लोग कैसे अपने आप को change करेंगे, we'll have to believe we are the people who need to collaborate and aggregate all this content that we are creating. One. Second, the big thing that's going to happen in the next 5 years, according to me, और मैं 5 साल भी यहाँ पे superstar रहूँगा तो मुझको check कर सकते हैं आप बाद में मिलके, but 100% content is going to be created by lots of people who are not the doyens of content creator, who are not the bosses of big houses like we are, and they are going to be created by X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Can we all now find a space in Maharashtra, like Arnab Saab said, to make this the hub of media or the news, whichever section of the news you want here, to make it a real hub? I think the Maharashtra business module should be that they give us a platform to aggregate all this, collaborate all this, and then we should be just service providers somehow of all kind of news, which only we are not making, all kind of entertainment, all kind of television, all kind of stuff that people are putting out in all different languages. And just not let it be with Amazon, just not let it be with Republic or with Red Chilies or with Excel. So I think the government, if it wants to retain the ownership of being the hub of media, Bollywood, as it always has been, Mumbai and Maharashtra, that's where the $1 trillion part should go. I think that's one part. Second part that's going to happen, I believe, is that there will be no production czars. We are not going to be production czars anymore. Already we see the media is being taken in a different way with Amazon and all. People don't want to have an appointment with entertainment or news anymore. This whole day off, with due respect, the 9 o'clock debate with Arnab, the 6 o'clock show, matinee show, or the early morning newspaper, the first one to have the afternoon, or the afternoon show which appeals to the women in the house, all this is going to die out because women want to see it when they want to see it. I want to hear the news now, right now. I want to hear something of the news in detail, in print, just now. I don't want to wait for the guy to bring the newspaper to me. So the thing that is going to completely change is how we are watching or taking in media. So I would request somehow that Maharashtra government helps all of us who've been in the business for long, though I doubt we'll continue to be so long. The main reason being that they will be crowdfunding. We won't need big business houses to fund production anymore. And this is going to happen. This is not a pipe dream that ye bol rahe hain, abhi yaar aisa thodi na hoga. Already people are making movies and television stuff and web series on their own by taking crowdfunding. All this is going to take away or decentralize the control of content creation. I think Maharashtra government should help us aggregate this in a hub and help us all become actually collaborative content providers rather than the business creators. Maharashtra government should become the business doer for us, aggregate it all there, send it out in all languages to all regions. It may seem like a long shot what I'm saying, but slowly as things have changed, you know, we don't even remember the era before the mobile phone. It's 10, 15 years ago, we had that rotary thing going on and on and on. And suddenly we can't live without this device anymore. And this is also going to happen in media. And I think all of us would be too happy to participate in this collaboration. We should all be doing, I should have a space where I can take Arnab's news, Sudhanshu's serials. I already have with Ritesh, you know, go to Amazon or not to Amazon. Figure it out myself and, you know, say, Vijay, sorry, I'm doing it here. Tum bhi yahin par aa jao yaar. Aur Rishi ko bhi bole, ki yaar tum bhi apna cup of chai leke, let's all be here, because audience is not going to wait for an appointment with any kind of media or entertainment. Actually, they should not. Entertainment means you can do it whenever you want. News is you should have it as it happens. So all these things should happen at the will of the consumer. So we will be a more consumer-driven business, so to say. And I think the Maharashtra government, if it wants to continue, as has been, apart from the conventional ways of theatres, offering more channels, different languages, etc., and subsidies, I think they should create a hub, a digital hub, where we all can come and put it and let them make the business of providing the service to everyone.
Fair enough. Arnab, this kind of collaboration that Shah Rukh is referring to, at one level, for traditional media, how does it actually work? And I don't know if you actually think of TV news the way we saw it. I work with you in the making of Times Now, and from that era to now, do you see the possibilities of further collaboration? Because I'm already seeing it. I mean, you're seeing what is happening in Republic TV. This entire paradigm shift, as it were, of appointment viewing going out, or at least it's envisaged as going out in the not too distant future. What does that mean for TV news?
Okay. So, since this is about shaping the future of media and entertainment, on a lighter note, my recommendation to the Maharashtra government is that you should also provide some special facilities for the Karni Sena. They will provide you a lot of entertainment in the future. Don't take it otherwise. It helped your film. It helped your film. Don't worry, I'm only naming them. I'm not bringing them here. If they come here, I'll deal with them on a lighter note. But on a serious note, I want to tell you a little story. The world is a world full of possibilities. When I started the previous channel, we took a small amount of investment from a company called Reuters. It was their first investment outside America in a consumer-facing media business. And I remember I spent 5 or 6 days with Chris Ahern, who was president of Reuters Media, to get a 25-26% investment in Times Now.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing was not the money that came in. A small amount of money by today's standards. But people from 10 to 15 nationalities started working in an Indian newsroom. So I had an American, Chinese, Germans, British, all of them working out of a newsroom in Lower Parel. And we used to make a show called Reuters World Report. You will remember, Vikram, they started abusing in Hindi and Marathi also after some time.
So we taught them a few.
But the amazing thing was, for the 2 or 3 years that I worked with them, I got to realize that essentially media has no language or nationality. And since then, I have had just one dream. And that dream is that can we finally provide an Indian, South Asian or Asian alternative to the antiquated BBC and CNN, which will happen from our soil in our time. The success of the Reuters World Report made me feel that it's only a matter of thinking about it. Now consider one possibility. If I use my ability with technology, my as in our collective ability with technology, if I use the youth and the human talent available. Third thing, if I use our ability in the English language, because the Chinese will not learn English in another 100 years. If I put all of these three together, now I throw into it digital and technology. I throw into it artificial intelligence and machine learning. And I throw into it the ability to pick up content from different centers and to curate it in Lower Parel. Then what I was doing on television, creating the Reuters World Report, and I remember when Reuters left, I met Tom Gloser. And Tom told me in a meeting in London, he said, this is the proudest investment that we have had because I'm really proud of the quality of the show that you produced. Can we magnify that 1,000 times and turn it into a global media enterprise focusing on digital and technology, creating content, not Indian content for Indians or global content for Indians, but global content for the world, curated out of Mumbai, Pune or anywhere. Believe me,
what stops us?
There's nothing that stops it. There's nothing that stops it. Nothing stops an idea whose time has come. Believe me, it doesn't. Behemoths come and die. When I left Times Now, I was told you will die because you're taking on a behemoth. We prove with the success of Republic and our play of digital and television that an idea cannot be stopped. I appeal to everyone here, if we are going to make India a soft power, and this is not about money alone, if you are going to make Maharashtra magnetic, if you are going to make India magnetic, then before it is too late, create a global center for world news operating out of Mumbai. I think we need to look beyond the country, and I think we'll be doing a service to the future generations of India. I know that we can do it far better than any global newsroom. It's just that we are now thinking of covering Arvind Kejriwal and what is that racketeer, Nirav Modi. We just need to think of covering Trump.
When is that likely to change?
It's going to change in the next 2 or 3 years.
What will change it?
I have said it. I have said it, and I promise to you on this occasion. And I don't know how this will happen, Vikram, but I'm saying it today, that within the next 3 years, Republic will be India's first global entry into media for the world. I won't shout as much on global television maybe. But the fact is, why don't we do it? We don't do it because we are not thinking about it.
Correct.
It has to happen, and it will be a transformative thing, and that's
No, but
where
jokes aside,
we can
Arnab, there is an
collaborate.
Indian sensibility. There is a way that we consume, what is put out there. There is going to be the need for media that is very Indian in its aesthetic, in its appeal.
Sure.
Now, how do you align it with, because like we just heard, there is a bucking of the global trend where print is concerned. There is a very strong Indian model that is, well, clearly working, it's evolving, and there are problems. But there is a need, if you are going to talk about something that is an offering to the world at large,
Yeah.
how are we going to align ourselves with what's already there?
That's a matter of detailing. The first challenge you ask yourself in this room, I want you to all think about it when you leave. Can India be a global news media, digital news, television news media hub? My heart says yes. I know it will happen. It doesn't take billions of dollars of investment. It just requires an idea. It needs talented people. And I request all of you one day, please come. I have transformed a mill in Lower Parel into a newsroom. Watch the people work there. Believe me, we will be able to break news from the US faster than any American channel when we choose to do it.
I want to ask you this, Shah Rukh, and I want to take it to the other members of the panel as well. Are we thinking alike in terms of what we like and what we consume and what we want to see much more of? Because, like I said, I mean, as audiences start coming in, as newer audiences find their way into the digital economy, as it were, there is going to be a shift, but is this shift going to be uniform? And isn't there a real need for that uniformity to come in so that the kind of offering that Arnab is talking about can be presented to the world, and this kind of hub that you're saying that needs to be in Mumbai and Maharashtra can actually work towards giving out the exports that India is capable of?
Yeah, I think what Arnab Saab says is very clearly what every Indian believes, that it's high time that whichever business, he's in the business of news, I'm in the films, we have television, we have other platforms, and we have newspapers. We would like to be the leaders, at least in the soft power of it, around the world. And why not? I mean, just to talk about my industry, we still do create the highest number of cinema in the world. And by a long shot, we make 1,000 films a year, 250 here or 280 here. But why aren't we being able to garb it, dress it up, speak it in the language that the world wants to hear, and be the world leaders? Why isn't? I mean, now it's changed, but why can't, you know, we are just Bollywood. We are like supposedly the second cousins of Hollywood. Maybe we should be able to have created a film industry by now, and our dream is most certainly to do that. And I think two reasons why we might be able to fulfill it at this point in time, because we are a new digital country. So all the know-how and everything that comes in here, for example, our telephony itself, it's the most modern and the latest in the world because we are the last ones to acquire it and attain it. So we have an advantage like that. We are not using used technology, we are getting the latest technology because we are the last entrant into this digital age. The second part of it is we are the youngest nation in the world. So all the new ideas that you talk about, all the difference of opinions that will happen, whether it's news, television, newspaper, films, is going to be known first to us. The changing world is going to first happen in India because everybody is under the age of 35. I mean, 65, 60% people are like that. So we are going to get the latest information and we'll have the latest technology. So why should it ever stop us from knowing what the world wants by knowing what the Indians want? I understand you saying, oh, we have a regular way of thinking, there is an Indian way of selling everything else, but I think, absolutely, Phir bhi dil hai Hindustani for sure. But I know I have 3 kids of different ages and stages. My 18-year-old son right now is most exposed, like his son is, I'm sure, to the rest of the world. His taste is not just Indian. And it's not a bad thing. His taste is global. So when he asks me for something to be shown in entertainment or news, he's wishing upon us by the virtue of having been exposed to the global viewership that he has attained through the digital world. So we will be the first ones to know the changing trends in the world because we are the youngest and we have the youngest technology in the world to change it and dole it out to the rest of the world. So I find it extremely odd that why doesn't everyone in India believe we will be the leaders in soft power in the coming years? I mean, there's no way it can be stopped, it can be changed. And that's why when I'm here for, say, the Maharashtra, Magnetic Maharashtra gathering, and I belong here. So for me, this also being the hub of media, and all of us here, we'd really like somehow things to happen, that the talent is there, the content is there, the audience is even there, the youth is there, the technology is there. We just need some facilitations so that we are able to rule the world. It's not about ruling India, Mumbai, Karnataka, Kolkata or Delhi anymore. It should be about ruling the world through the soft power that we have. For that matter, Amazon and Netflix are coming here. You know, they're already setting up and thinking it's going to be huge business for them, and it will be. Why aren't we taking those platforms and taking it to the rest of the world with our content and show it? And, you know, just to let you know, I think to start off with, we have enough Indians all around the world. There's no place you can go and not find an Indian or bump into him. Every 5th person is an Indian. So we already have a ready audience. We just need to grow it a little more, that's all.
Vijay, you tell me, from a democratization point of view, that's what a digital actually on the ground. You're actually making these shows, these web series, etc. The kind of audience that you're catering to, they require a different approach, right? When you
Available in over 200 countries and territories day and date. So that's at the aspiration level. But as far as the content selection is concerned, I think we must not lose sight of what is truly our strength, which is the uniqueness in the stories that we can tell to the world, rather than do a version of their stories. All right? If you look at our culture, our ethos, and just our history, there's so much richness there. And I think what everybody is saying is that we have a global mindset to take all these stories internationally. And I think we've made a small beginning there by allowing all the creators to take their stories day and date across 200 countries and territories. That's one. Two, at Amazon, I'm going back to the fact that, putting the customer at the heart of it, we believe that no two customers are alike.
US, the UK, the Middle East, in terms of our exports and the potential that they hold, are we able to convincingly grow exponentially? Because that is the promise, right? It has been for the longest time. The film industry has been around for as long as it has. Have we been able to do that? And if not, why not?
Actually, earlier when we were discussing story, like I think when we read a story, right? Somebody like a writer will write it, he'll come to us, I'll take the story after I identify it, relate to take it to Shahrukh to act in it. So I think when we're reading stuff, we're not thinking of the language or the people, you are identifying with it. So I think on the first step of it is that, do we want to tell this story? Yes, we do. Is there a global audience for it? Because it may be in a different language, but you can have subtitles. So I think emotionally or on some level, you have to connect to it. We have been, our movies, in fact, compared to Hollywood films or anybody else, our films released day and date in 45 countries, and it's been doing so in the last 10, 15 years. You've seen Hollywood films now penetrate on a larger scale into India, but then there are those larger than life films, where there's the Spider-Mans or Jungle Book, which will penetrate a lot into mass India. So I think none of us here, even like I have not thought about it being globally, but yes, today with a platform like an Amazon or a Netflix, you have the opportunity of taking your stories to a global audience, and you can say it in their language. But the story is still the same.
Correct.
So I think coming back to, it's become a slightly more easier, even theatrical now with China. A lot of films have gone there, and in fact, they've done 10 times bigger business in China than they've done in India.
Correct.
And it's still, at its core, an Indian story, So I think it all comes down to that. I mean, as long as you identify with it, you want to tell the story.
Just you're comparing it to India. And India in itself, like you've been telling me offline, is a problem by way of distribution, etc. In terms of being able to consume what is created here.
Right, so we are talking...
So that, the base might be a little low, and then you're comparing it to a China. I'm just saying the potential is much bigger than our delivery.
I think, because, even Shahrukh said this right in the beginning, you have 1.3 billion people. The maximum number of people which have gone in to see a film is about 36 million. Whereas you know that you have over 250 million people wanting to consume content. How do we bridge that? I think it has to be convenient for people. Right now, going to a cinema is not convenient. We all make films for a cinematic experience. And I think there has been a very clear writing on the wall, which we've all seen. Exactly, again, I'm talking about China, because 10 or 15 years ago, we had the same screen density as China. In fact, we were at almost 98,000 people to one screen. Today, we are at 150,000 to one screen. They've come down to 45,000.
Right.
So I think there is a huge potential, even within India, to grow. And again, all these sectors, all of them create jobs for everybody. I mean, building a cinema creates a job, writing content, shooting content, whether it's for media, you're employing a lot of people there.
But what are the challenges in content creation right now? Especially in films, of the kind of scale that you make?
I think if you're asking me purely within India right now, I think we need to implement, which we've been trying with the government, is to have a single window clearance for either building a cinema. Right now it takes, I think, I was told by people, we don't build cinemas, but it requires more licenses and permissions to build cinemas than a restaurant or a bar.
Which is a crying shame.
Exactly. That is one part. Even shooting content in India, we go anywhere else in the world, there's a single film commission which gives you permission, invites you to shoot And obviously that helps tourism. So they want you to shoot at the most iconic places.
Right.
In India, to shoot at even Gateway of India, I have to pick up the phone and speak to the CM, or Kaustubh sitting here who helps us. So that is what it is,
Shahrukh, do weigh in on this because, I mean, there are real difficulties in being able to produce right now. We have to get over that to kind of look at the entire space more futuristically. I mean, compared to production of films elsewhere in the world, Shahrukh, how easy or difficult is it?
I think, we can sit down and I can enumerate 3 more points that Ritesh has talked about and tell you what are the difficulties in making films here. Apart from a central permission agency, locations which can be handled, increased tourism, having a single window clearance for making more multiplexes or single screen cinema theaters, plus a better distribution center, plus just creation of more consumer-friendly areas for people to take over the film. We can go on and on and on. We can come down to the final union bazi that every agency and every business has. But I think we still have done wonderfully well for ourselves. I mean, to look at this, Indian film industry, or what we call Bollywood, is fantastic. It's doing very well. Everybody's earning money. We are making waves. We are somehow kind of a cultural package for India when you go abroad anywhere. People do talk about it. And yes, like he said, 45 nations are already releasing our films. And I would also like to say, I'm not going to harp on about the fact that our film outstripped, one of the films I think we did together, outstripped Star Wars in Dubai in terms of collection. All these are small victories. I think we need to have a larger vision, a bigger vision, that we are the content creators, we've done the business. Now let's look at it this way. We are doing business perhaps in more difficult ways or facilities than China, which actually is a way to look at it and say it hardens us, makes us better business people. We've outlasted people who have it easier. So let's put all that together. Instead of cribbing about what we don't have, there are a lot of problems, and I'm sure they can get sorted out individually when we sit down with every area CM and the CM Saab, who's very forthcoming when he talks to us. And in all the areas, we can figure that out. We can bring out the problems, overcome them. But the dream has to be bigger. The vision has to be larger. And also we need to know that before Spider-Man and Jungle Book take over our film industry and entertainment, I mean, I love Spider-Man, but still just imagine a Makdi is ruling our cinemas while we've not been able to make one superhero in our country. We are a land of heroes and villains, of course, but we've not been able to create superheroes. We are mythological-wise, religion-wise, we have such superheroes. We've not created one superhero to rule the world. We've not created one film to go and rule the world. We are still getting so impressed by Avatar, and we can make it hit. He can put it on his news as the most expensive film. I can act in it. Ritesh can produce it. It can be the headline. Amazon will sell after 30 days or 90 days. But we can genuinely own with one of our great mythological films and rule the world. And you don't need a language, like Ritesh said. You just have to emotionally connect. And emotions we have no dearth of. So I think, yes, there are going to be a little bit of issues of dressing up the Indian content to make it relevant to the world. Like Arnab said, he'll shout a little less in the channels when he goes global. I'll have to underplay my acting also, for sure. We'll all have to make changes to dress ourselves for international entry. Of course, for one thing, our films will have to be smaller and without intervals. We have to recognize that. We never seem to recognize that. We keep on bloody making 3-hour-long films. We can't have an interval. It's silly to have intervals and break the story. So we have to change that mindset and then go international. So all those problems, and forget the world, like we said, in India enough we have a big enough market to start off with. We have the most encouraging market in the world sitting right under our noses. We can grow with it, and then we can genuinely go global with entertainment, news, like Arnab said. I'm sure even the print media. We can genuinely do it because English, again, if I'm not mistaken, I think we are the most English-speaking nation also in the world. So supposedly we know this language better than the rest of the world, including the English. So there is no issue like the Chinese have. So we can actually, in this zone, really own the world. And of course, little bits of problems and issues get resolved. And we can always go and shoot overseas and make a film there. Take better permissions, take their subsidies, and invite ourselves there and make films. So I think there's no, the future is fantastic if we are a little positive about it.
Sure thing. As a hub for media, Sudhanshu, come in on this, because to be able to create that economy, you need your ancillaries to really shape up. Whether you're talking about VFX, you're talking about animation, those have existed. We look up to Bahubali as our biggest offering to the world. And I want to be as positive about this, but it's my job to play the devil's advocate over here. So do tell me, by the kind of standards that the world expects, that India would like to export, how do you think we are placed ancillary-wise? Because to create this media hub that Shah Rukh is suggesting for Mumbai and Maharashtra, you will need all of these to be in place. Where do we stand right now?
Yeah, so I think, you know, on this one, Vikram, again, we've been talking about it a lot. The soft power exists. By the way, there is one anecdotal statistic which I want to share. There isn't a single film in the world where no back-end work has been done in India or definitely by an Indian.
Right.
So I think, you know, so therefore not a single film in the world. You know, that's and I'm talking about all languages of films. So that exists. I think what needs to be done, and Maharashtra is very well equipped with our honorable CM, who's sort of, who's futuristic. I think we do need to get in the infrastructure. And I think it is important, and Bombay, and Bombay and in and around Bombay and Maharashtra in general, we can get that infrastructure. And that infrastructure will play a big role. The infrastructure should come in through public or public-private partnership. And I think that is the detail which needs to be worked out. But I think that if we do, we will have enough takers for that infrastructure in terms of and there will be ways to sort of monetize it as well. As we build that infrastructure, we will be able to do world level things because we have all of it is with us. And Shah Rukh spoke about it, everybody's spoken about it, Ritesh spoke about it, Arnab spoke about it. We are a country which is so rich in storytelling, in history, in mythological characters. We've had Supermen before Supermen were born in Western world. So, so therefore all that can be told. The question is, how do we unleash that? And the other question in this, particularly for this panel, is also, how does government, and how do we make Magnetic Maharashtra and make sure that we two together play that role, and we clap and with our hands coming together. I think Ritesh spoke about a few things, which is single window clearance. It's absolutely essential in Maharashtra. Right. Yeah. They've taken the first steps, because single window clearance, by the way, is relevant for screens, it's relevant for centers, it's relevant for films, it's relevant for events, yes. It's relevant everywhere. So I think that's the thing we need to do. We need to have the infrastructure in place. Once we do that, I think India has the capability. And this is one industry, by the way, where we have advantage over our rival, whom we keep talking about in the same breath, from the point of view of soft power. So between India and China, India is clearly ahead in this space, in soft power. And India has it in it to sort of be able to do that. What we need is this strong sense of getting it done and having the infrastructure. Second thing which I've been seeing off late, and Arnab was telling us, I think we need to we need to be a little bit more, when we talk of creative, there will be some amount of, when you do something creative and you do storytelling, you've allowed some imagination to happen. And I think as Indians, we should not take ourselves too seriously. We start taking ourselves too seriously. Is this correct? Is this wrong? Is so and so person pain? I think as long as the broad contours are in place, of course the broad contours have to be in place, we portray what we want to portray in a sensible fashion, we should go ahead and do it and feel proud of it. And I think that is
easy for a journalist to say that you need to be thick-skinned. We're in the business of being that. But for a creative person who can be extremely emotional, is that a valid suggestion? And do you think that if not, then the government needs to do its bit to protect creativity and make sure that it's looking into the future with all these possibilities that we've talked about?
See, creativity, whenever it will come to fore, whenever, all around the world, there are going to be people who descend to certain paths. You will find people finding some reason to dislike some creative thing, whether it's a film, whether it's a news piece, whether it's a television series. This is an ongoing, thing that's going to keep happening. It's happened to all of us at certain times in our careers where films have not been liked by a certain section of people, and they have taken up cudgels and said, no, we don't like it. But the films finally do get released, and if they're nice films, people lap it up and like it, and the business goes ahead. So I don't know about the thick-skin part of it, but yeah, like you said, creative people do get very emotional about it, And one of the emotions also is that you are a little wary of, ki, listen, yaar, I make it with so much love, but you know, where is it going? Plus also, most often than not, there is a certain amount of business attached to that emotion, you know, which you can't let go of. And our business of films happens in the first few days, which is a given. It's not something that we're just making up. It happens in the first few days. So if you kill the first few days, then the business does suffer. So sometimes you have to continue and do this balance. I hear a lot of media houses. Just recently with the Viacom film, we had people, why don't all the other stars come up? They are not coming up. Oh, they are hiding. And they, no, we're not hiding. As a matter of fact, the simple truth is this, that there is a section of people who've gone in an uprising, so to say. If more prominent actors and actresses and directors came and talked about this film, as a matter of fact, many a times I suggested to their team, don't talk about this. Just keep quiet, because you're giving wind to fire. And then suddenly these people are becoming more recognized by virtue of being on all the news channels. So just to let them be, don't give them import. Sometimes, you know, when people are going in an uprising, all you need to do is just stand back. Nobody's scared, nobody's fearful, nobody's hiding their own skin. And, you know, as is said about Bollywood stars, oh, these people just want to earn money and not do anything for the society. And no, and none of us are doing that. We love our society because we make entertainment for you. We want you to be happy. And a part of that happiness is, I want you, as a 52-year-old father, want you to come to that theater safe and sound with your child and happily go, even if you don't like my film. The experience should be fantastic for you. That's my responsibility. So the hurtfulness is not because I'm worried about my film. I'm worried about that girl. I'm worried about my own son watching the film. And that's my responsibility as an entertainer who's been working for more than half his lifetime now. So for me, it's an important aspect. It's not something that I've gotten scared of. Having said that, I think creative people will always, उनको कितना भी रोक लो, वो अपनी फिल्म बनाएंगे ही बनाएंगे, वो अपनी बात करेंगे ही करेंगे. कई बारी तकलीफ होगी, लेकिन तकलीफों से वो डरेंगे नहीं. None of them, I think, more filmmakers, I would like to vouch for that. Nobody goes out and makes films to incite people, to trouble regions, to disturb a community. I don't think anybody goes to do that. At least I've been working here in 26 years in Hindi film industry. I don't think more people do that. Maybe some people are, हर business में थोड़े से होते हैं बदतमीज लोग, कोई कुछ कह दें, but more people don't do that. Especially all the responsible people, none of them do it. So yeah, you know, sometimes this is going to happen. I just want to make one point. The sooner the world realizes that with this free flow of information and technology and communication that is happening, a time is going to come that nobody can stop any idea from flowing freely. Every idea will flow freely. But none of us can stop it. So we better buckle up and say, okay, this is a great idea. Let's put it cinematically. None of us will be able to, it'll be uncontrollable. Ideas, stories, thoughts, they'll be ruled socially, psychological geographies will come in. People will say what they want to. People will show what they want to. People will do what they want to. Because entertainment belongs to people. So the faster we get used to this fact that हम यहाँ पे रोक भी लें, तोड़ भी दें, छुपा भी दें, बंद भी कर लें, ये ideas तो नहीं रुकने वाले हैं. And especially with social media and digital world, there is no stopping them. So यहाँ नहीं होगा, वहाँ होगा, वहाँ नहीं होगा. इनके पेपर में चले जाऊँगा, पेपर में नहीं जाऊँगा. मैं अपने घर से ट्वीट कर दूँगा, मैं कहीं डाल दूँगा, Facebook पे आ जाए. So you can't stop ideas from. This is the beauty of the current world for entertainment and media. That ideas are free-flowing and you can't stop them. So, you know, we better get used to it. As a matter of fact, like what Arnab has said, all of us are saying, let's harness all of that, create a media hub, give you a digital hub, give you a content hub. That's what Maharashtra should do. And we should be the one owning this free-flowing of ideas to make money. It's a good thing to make money through the business of free-flowing ideas. I think that's what we should be looking at. These small incidents of people coming, stopping, this, you know, you have to give it up. Like he said, okay, not thick skin, but minorly thicker skin than thin. You should have, yeah. Not fully thick, yeah. Little bit. We are emotional, so we get disturbed. So little, how do you say? What is between thin and thick? Medium skin we need to develop, yeah.
Ritesh?
Yeah.
You know, is there any... Are you thick-skinned? Shah Rukh
I think
claims
Shah
you
Rukh
are.
knows more about me.
Yeah. So you agree?
Yeah, I don't agree. He's just saying
So
it. I
then-
didn't say I agree.
So then you pussyfoot around subjects and themes that come your way and you say, no, this is not for a theatrical audience. Maybe I'm going to make it for Amazon then. Is that happening?
No, we'll never do that because I'll tell you, there is a strong, when a person, which happened in their incident, I honestly did not even know that such a Sena existed. I got to know because Arnab went and gave him that platform or somebody like that. So I think what
Arnab,
happens
this is coming away.
No. What I'm trying to say is that we need to also at the same time be a little more responsible. If somebody out there is saying something because he wants his 1 minute of fame, we have to learn to ignore it and move on with it. That is what it is. But if you're asking me that, am I going to stop an idea or a film because I think, I know very clearly we're not going to do something which is going to hurt somebody's sentiment. We don't intend to do that. We don't start writing from day one thinking, oh, this is going to offend this person and he might turn out and create an objection which will give me some mileage and publicity.
But would you change your route to
No.
kind of make it? Would
No.
you choose your medium more thoughtfully because you have those options now?
I don't think so. Like I said, we'll be very, very responsible in what we're doing. We're not going to stop or, deter from doing something because we feel somebody, you are living in the largest democracy. You have a right to say something, but you have to just be responsible about it.
Or no? Yeah, certainly.
Sorry, I'd just like to add on. I think lately what we are noticing is that all the media people are being a little more collaborative. I think in the case in point this, I think none of them, of course, they might have given them a platform, but nobody was taking on the side and saying they are saying the right thing for a film. They were all open about the fact that, listen, this is the wrong thing to do. It's a film. Please watch it first and then decide. And I think that's what is the call of the day, that all media houses, all newspapers, all writing, publishing houses, we should all collaborate on creativity. This is the main thing. And that collaboration should find a center in a place like Maharashtra. Or wherever. I'm sure it can do it in Karnataka. We are here in Maharashtra and I love Maharashtra, so I would like it to be here and it's close to my house too. But beyond that, everywhere else, it should happen that way, that all of us should be collaborative. We should all be creative. We should all, as a matter of fact, become fearless because we are all together on this boat and say things which are right, whether it is in politics, whether it is in entertainment, whether it is in just societal changes or economic stuff. So I think if we all get collaborative on this, and we soon will, thoda sa hota hai dissent, there will be different parts which are saying some more and some are saying less. But I think this world is going to be collaborative. Digital world is going to make us collaborative. And the faster we all recognize it here and make it profitable for us, the better it is. Instead of making it a chance of dissent or a choice of dissent, so you against me, I think we should all be just together into it. And I think in this case, everybody was together. We may not have appeared often enough. Sorry.
Shahrukh, you started by saying we are not businessmen, we are content creators. You have mentioned profit 3 times in the last 5 minutes.
Business.
Secondly, on a lighter side, don't react.
मैं बताऊं, गुर्बत में creativity नहीं होती. मैं सबको बोलता हूं, first get rich, then become a philosopher.
The second thing is,
I truly believe that. Yeah.
Second thing is, on this issue of, and Shahrukh and Ritesh, with respect to both of you and all of your content creators, content cannot be treated as toothpaste. You can't make different for different levels of sensitivity. If you have to tell a story, you have to tell a story as it is. And I believe the expansion in media that's happening in digital today is allowing all of us, with the expansion of multiple screens, to tell the story that we are. So let us step forward. And I think let us be even bolder. And we can't shy away from protests or whatever. But if you find something wrong, go ahead and confront it. I think it's always worked for me. I think
would we, from the news, protect creativity? Would we in the news, from the kind of discussion that we've just had, make ourselves...
Of course.
Would we protect? Because like Ritesh pointed out, that sometimes you don't want to give them the oxygen of media.
I'm the first person in India who saw Padmavati, right? Yeah. Padmavati, you should not have changed the name of the film also. But I'm the first person who saw it. We went out there and we actually backed up and we said there's nothing offensive in the film at all.
Right.
So we stuck our neck out.
Yeah.
And we're willing to do that. But we can't shy away from it. We can't let a group of people, and we can't put blinkers on and say these people don't exist.
Yeah.
Right?
I think, Vikram, I just wanted to, because we've talked a lot about this.
Before we wrap and throw it open to the house.
Just before we open it up or wrap it up, I wanted to say, we've all come together, and I think in a very, also which is very true of India, I think we've actually been able to do what I think is right. I think, and it has taken time, But as you were talking only about news, it's not news, it's institutions, CBFC, it's about Supreme Courts, it's about authorities, it's about society in general. Everybody's come together. And I think between what Arnab was saying and what Shahrukh was saying, we've used both some level of thick skin or aggression and some level of restraint. And at times restraint itself is very, very critical as well. It's a combination of that. We've done that. It's been a classic example of how it can be done. Moving forward, as we would like to tell more and more such stories which are relevant to the world as well, by the way, with new technology,
Yes.
we will need to do more of this, is the point which I was making.
Correct.
And you know, as Shahrukh was saying, today is the day and age when a wink by a young actor can break internet. So I think, you know, it's like
That's right.
Priya Prakash Warrior's wink broke internet. So I think it is like, so there's a time where there is an idea, if something which people like, there is nothing, absolutely nothing can stop it.
Yeah, something that Shahrukh started out by saying, that this is becoming so collaborative. Everyone is creating content today. And we have to be cognizant of the fact and make sure that it gets the right platform. And we are consolidating as an industry. And Mumbai and Maharashtra seem to be the kind of places that are most likely to make that happen. I'm going to throw it open to the house. And as we prepare, oh, the hands have already gone up. So can we start with the gentleman right here? Can we get him a mic? And we'd like the discussion points to be around what we've just spoken about and the consolidation of the media industry. So let's just stick to that, yes? Because when Shahrukh is around, all kinds of questions get thrown around. No, there will be a mic. To the gentleman first, here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi Shahrukh, sir. Hi, Ritesh. With such great leaders over here, I'm sure the shaping of the future of the media industry is going to be great. The only question I have as an individual is, when do we see Dawn 3?
Oh, dear. I'm not sure you want to answer that right now, Shahrukh. Perhaps this is not the right forum, but I'm sure Shahrukh will have an answer in the media for you very shortly. Make sure that it's about the development of the media industry,
Excuse
please.
me.
And let there be questions and pointed ones at that.
Vikram.
Where?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you're against the light. Go ahead, sir.
Actually, I want to throw it open to Shahrukh and Ritesh. I wanted to know the future of cinema, theatre, and the community viewing and experiential entertainment. Because of Netflix, YouTube, and this digital media is coming in, and because of the government policies of getting permissions, do you think cinema is on the way out?
Cinema is on the way out, you think?
I'm asking, what is the future for theatres and multiplex?
I don't think so. I think I read a piece by some really amazing, wonderful producers, directors, and business houses about what cinema theatres may look like over the years, plus what cinema will be. I think the movie itself will be the experience. You know, not the emotional parts of it that people connect to individually. You will be able to. I will come to you. ऐसा एक मिनट आंसर दे दूं अभी अच्छा नहीं लगा आंसर खत्म तो कर लूं भाई प्लीज मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि the movie itself will become more interactive and you will not be able to have that interaction whether changing scenes or interacting with the cast and crew with the visual effects and virtual reality that Arnab also mentioned. All this happening together will need a different kind of community viewing. It will not be only localized to platforms which are handheld or mobile. Theaters will become like drama theaters. Movies will come for 6 months. It won't be about Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Community viewing will be that you'll go sit like in an arena, 360 degrees, interactive movies will be shown to you which you can't watch at home. And then you'll go, not just rushing on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but long term, like Phantom of the Opera. So I think theater and movies will change into that kind of community viewing instead of what we are. It's very difficult to imagine just now. Right now we think the hall hoga, aisa screen hoga.
You've seen it somewhere?
I have not seen it somewhere. I've dreamed it a lot of times.
Right. The lady over there.
Hello.
Oh, the mic has already traveled somewhere else.
So my name is Kapil Pawar. I'm
Yes.
the founder and CEO of Nomad in India Online Services Private Limited. Nomad in India is a startup recognized by Government of India and recommended by Science and Technology Park. And I would like to introduce you to this word, nomad. I was very happy to listen to what you guys were sharing because this word nomad, when I say nomad, it means a KNOWMAD. This word means a creative, imaginative, and innovative person who can work with anybody, anytime, anywhere. And our mission at Nomad in India is to convert every university graduate into a nomad.
You
And
have
the
a question for us, sir?
Sorry, sir?
Do you have a question for us?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please
I
go ahead
wanted
with
to
that.
ask you, what do you think about the future of university ecosystem and people that we are producing from universities? Because that is our biggest dividend. What do you think about our human resource, our graduate community? That can be that can be our strength.
Are you specifically asking Shahrukh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes,
Ji.
sir.
So,
यार इंटेलिजेंट क्वेश्चन अर्नब से पूछो तुम यार ये सब
No, sir. I believe that you are a true nomad, sir.
मैड का पता है मुझे नो वाला पार्ट मुझे नहीं पता है but
Exactly, sir. I mean,
yeah, I mean, see, human resource is always going to be extremely important. However, the world becomes digitized, and I do find, I mean, this is a very big discussion. The kind of stuff that we are taught from beginning to end, the way we do admissions in it, and then we come out and look for jobs. I think there is there are a lot of gaps along the way in all three phases of educating yourself and how we educate ourselves finally also. But I think a part of that will also change with the digital world. There will be a lot of self-teaching apart from just leading and learning expertise and specialty jobs in the universities. And of course, there should be departments which are somehow creating that many jobs that you are studying for. It's kind of like a cinema, that we are creating a lot of films, but we just don't have an area to show them enough. So we have, I think, we are creating enough students and human resource, but perhaps we still have not been able to amalgamate them all into some kind of a job that can, ideally in an economy, jobs should outstrip the new entrants.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen in any economy. It takes time, so I think we have to have patience, and students need to have patience and work towards it.
talent generation, is there enough of it happening, and does the government need to be a little more proactive?
So I think, see, what is happening is that, just building on what Shahrukh was saying, I think in the world which is coming in, it will be a lot about self-learning. And it's self-learning both at what you want to learn and the pace at which you want to learn. And I think that will happen. The good news for India is I think we need to provide the basic stuff, and it's an elaborate topic. I don't want to get into primary education, secondary education, quality of education. But once you provide that piece, the good news about India is one of the most adaptive countries.
Yes.
So therefore, as Indians, we can adapt. And I think that's fantastic news of the future world which is coming up. And I think, as long as we do the basics right, we need to do more in that space as well. And I don't want to get into that. I think with tools available, with more and more self-learning, and many of that is free as well, by the way. So it's not, and the money is no longer going to be a deterrent in any of that. I think India will be well equipped in order to tackle this. It will evolve as we go forward, and because we'll be able to take into sectors where we need to go into.
May I have a question on this side, the lady over there?
Yes, sir. Sir, my question, just 2 minutes.
Give way to the lady, It's nice.
I had a question. Now we are talking of, people creating content. I mean, where people are
Yes.
creating content on the media, on the social media, people creating content as small films. What do you see, how do you see this future amalgamating with the dream you're talking of people like me creating content who are not in the entertainment or the media industry?
I think we all got into it. We were just people also, most of us. We just decided that we wanted to figure out a livelihood in this. But now, yes, मैं समझ गया हूँ, बिल्कुल फिक्र मत, सब समझ गया हूँ। ऐसा लगता हूँ बेवकूफ़ हूँ नहीं मैं।
पता है।
When people who are not in this job and are creating content, I think it is more than welcome. And that's what I meant when I said all of us, like I'm sure Arnab does it. If there is a person, they have that, आपका क्या है वो जो citizen journalist type चीज़ है, जो लोग जो हैं न्यूज़ भेजते हैं अपने एरिया की जगहों की. So all these things are happening. They are already involving. Filmmakers just need to recognize that. I mean, you should have a department just spending time on people creating content, regular people, in a train going for work. I think that is going to be a huge thing, that content will be created by regular people. Second, there'll be crowdfunding. So tomorrow when you make your third film, inshallah, what will happen is you will have a crowdfunding zone and you will say, okay, everybody participate in it. You won't have to come to Ritesh or me or anyone, Amazon, and just create it. I know it sounds utopian right now, but this is going to follow suit. Even news will be created by people, not like in a bad way, that they'll create the news, but like send news in what they thought happening. And it's going to be more relevant and up to date and faster that way.
One
No,
last
sir,
question
sir,
from...
One second. I should just tell you just one thing I want to say. Before you ask your question, I think all of you sitting here are actually creating content. I'm seeing you're taking out your mobiles and shooting this, and you're going to go and load it. So you are actually creating content today, sitting right here.
Sir, if you have the mic, yes. Please go on. And I have time only for one more question, unfortunately, because the next session is about to start. So, last question, please.
मेरा क्वेश्चन सुधांशु सर से है, अर्नब सर से।
Arnab sir, please go on.
दोनों से। सर, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि पद्मावत का ये जो कंट्रोवर्सी टाला जा सकती थी, जानबूझ के कंटेंट को बढ़ाया गया, वेट किया गया कि बहुत ज़्यादा।
We waited on this, sir. What is the question, if specific?
सर, ये किस टाइप का फैशन हो रहा है कि कुछ कंट्रोवर्शियल इश्यूज पे मूवीज बनाओ एंड जस्ट टू गेट पब्लिसिटी एंड कोर्ट में उसका केस जाता है कुछ दिनों तक, तो ये इस पे आपका क्या कहना है? ये
सर, वो बातें हो चुकी है. One last question about the industry, if at all. Otherwise, we'll wrap. Sir, please go on.
Thank you. Shahrukh, you mentioned about 1,000 odd films which are made in India. We talk about those 15, 20 big films of the Khans and others. The remaining 980 films are sort of lost. We don't know what the figures are. As a businessman, I want to make money. I want to invest. One of the channels would be entertainment or media or whatever. What would be your advice as far as businessmen are concerned, corporates are concerned, of investing in films which are not the top 20?
I think recently, sir, there are amazing amount of vistas to take a small film and recover the money very easily. That's a fantastic thing that's happened in business lately. Ritesh himself, though he's a very big producer, Excel is a very big production house, but they did this very small, poignant, fukre film, very cheap, the first one. And then they've taken it and, you know, there is enough audience, one. The audience is changing, like we always believe it is. You have digital platforms where you can go to. You have satellite platforms where you can go to. And somewhere down the line, I think the whole audience, if you would ask me honestly, if you're a businessman, you should avoid to get into a big star setup film initially. Those are expensive. I think movie stars are taking too much money. And it's misutilized. It should be in production. I truly believe big stars should well-meaningly take all the money that is due to them and put it in production values of the film to make that wonderful international film which will cross borders, which will go across the world and we'll be very proud of it technologically. These things are expensive, so you need to put in money. And sorry, Arnab, I'm again talking about money, but before he says. But if you're a businessman, then you need to at least create a little bit of a bag of different films, but small films, medium films have a huge take in today's world. Color Yellow Pictures with Anand Rai, they've been making these really wonderful films. Newton's just gone to the Oscars. Small films which are recovering their money for sure. There's music, there's digital, there's satellite. They look after us. They are our big brothers who are watching over film industry. And then there's theatrical and overseas. Cinema is opening. Very specifically in a lot of new countries where we had never ventured before. So I think I would suggest to go into small, medium films. Also, I truly believe a businessman who's bringing in finance for a film should back smaller films. Should come, I think it's a... Sorry?
He says he won't spend 200 crores for
Please
Padmavat.
don't. If you spend money on a film with me, I'll take it all away. So you just transfer it to my bank. It's better instead of making a film with me and me coming late for shooting and disturbing your peace. And so don't do that. Back small films, back medium films. They need the backing, and I get very proud when all of them here, the producers, they're backing small and medium films. Those are the future. The big films will come. Yes, those are Spider-Man. Those are the regular films. They'll come and go. Big stars will come and go. But those are the ones to back.
Yeah, the big films are going to come, and they're going to come from Shah Rukh Khan. I'm afraid we've completely run out of time. I'm sorry, we've completely run out of time.